What's good, man? What's going on, man? I'm D. I'm about to talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. 786-405-9499. You want to get down with IOD Squad. 786-405-9499. You want to get down with IOD Squad. Uh, we're gonna jump in. Right, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna talk about. Okay, for all y'all confused a little bit, there's been people who've been comparing Derwin James to Sean Taylor. It's happened a few times, not just one, but one of the recent ones was Pokeway. My little brother out in Lakeland said Derwin James was better than Sean Taylor, and somebody else actually did it too. Um, and we're gonna get into that. 70% likes, and we'll open up the chat for everybody in the comment section. Um, so we'll get that popping because right now only the villains in there popping. That's it. Only the villains are in there popping. So 70% likes. We'll open up chat for everybody. Y'all let us know how y'all feel about the conversation. Share the video for us, man. Put it out there for us. Share the video for us, man. Late. It's late. I'm gonna bring my boy Richard here. Rich in Miami somewhere hiding. I don't know who he hiding from, man. Rich must be owed somebody some dope money or something, man. Boy kind of creeping in Miami, man. Wait for some people to leave. Got another trick up my sleeve. Step to the prep in the back of the house. Weekend. All the lights out. Grab the door, but it's locked, so easy make my way to the window. What song that is? You gotta be old to know what song that is. Rich be sneaking into Miami, dog. Come to Miami, don't say nothing to nobody, man. Hide down here, man. I don't know what's going on, man, with Rich. So listen, this is what we're gonna do, man. 70% likes. We're gonna give them a chance to get there, Rich. Drop y'all a public service announcement. Let's go.
So sometimes they come to this platform, you're going to get a perspective that goes a little deeper, maybe gets into some of the problems, the issues that need to be fixed, that others may not really care about or know about. That's what you're going to get when you come here. That's it. That's what you're going to get when you come here. You're not always going to get heights, weights, and measurements and and rankings and all. Yeah, that's not what you're gonna get here. When you come here, you're gonna get some of that, some issues that need to be fixed, some of Uncle Luke, who we see as a very respectable guy in the community that has done a lot that deserves to speak until the day he dies. You're gonna get some of that. So what we're saying is that we're going to give you football from a grassroots place, from people who've actually touched these kids, actually know these kids, from a perspective of somebody who watched these kids grow up, know their parents, know the type of house environment they come from. That's what we created. That's what we created. Will it expand out into other cities and other communities? Maybe one day it will. Because there's kids, there's athletes with stories in Dade County, Broward County, West Palm, Jacksonville. There's athletes with the same stories in Georgia, Texas, Tennessee. Same stories, same issues. Being recruited, committing to a school, never saw the school. Talking NIL, have no clue what NIL means. Don't know how to manage money, all these issues that it's hard for us to just say, yeah, score a touchdown and not talk about them and try to fix them. That's what you get here, man. Footballville, Caneville, and when you become a villain. Now listen, the inside information that we give, man, is second to none. You know, way too many people connected, way too many places, have way too much leverage. The information we give is second to none. But you got to join and become a football villain, man, to figure that out. the content we give is first. There's nobody shooting the videos we're shooting, telling the stories we're telling with them. There's nobody. It's not happening. You're gonna have to take that to HBO or somewhere, and I don't even know if they can get with it. That is elite. All of that is in the member section. The villain section will eventually have his own home, his own place. We're working on that. So, bro, listen, man. Every now and then, I just have to explain the platform and where it comes from, um, and how we're doing it from a fan perspective and our business perspective. I love all y'all, man, and I appreciate all y'all because more than y'all know, y'all make this thing go. More than you know. And I tell you all the time, January 1st, I told you guys, you make it move. So listen, man, shout out to the villains, shout out to ILD squad, man. Get your credit fixed. Numbers in the description.
Willie Boston, what's going on? Yo, what's up, bro? That was me. That was me talking. That was me talking, and that's a video that's in the membership. Just talking about the group me, the member. Well, talking about Footballville and how it started and the purpose and where it came from. So some of you guys to understand that we didn't always talk about Kane so much, and but that's behind the paywall in the membership. If you want to become a member, 786-405-9499. You want to become a member, hit. If you got an iPhone, man, you got to go to the main page or go into the description. Maybe not this description, but the description of any other videos, top of the Twitter, top of the Instagram, the link, the member link is always in there, and you can go catch that full version of that video. Me talking about Footballville, how it started, where it came from, where it might be going. I'm gonna go live on Instagram. Let me see. So we're gonna get this thing popping, man. Let's see. But yeah, if you're an iPhone try to hide the join button. If you got a regular phone, a regular phone, if you got a Samsung or remember brain for Android, right there where it says the subscription and you see right there where it says description. I mean, it's the subscribers, and where it says the logo, you should be able to join right there. We're gonna get this thing popping, man. We're gonna bring my boy Rich in here. And I see we got a visitor in the back, man, for the first time, bro. So Pope Way done showed up here. So Rich, Pope Way done showed up in the house, so we can actually bring Pope Way on here and let him explain like what he was drinking that day or smoking that day. I know marijuana is you can bring him on here. You can bring him on here and explain. Rich, you ready for this?
Hey, I'm ready.
Pope Way, what's up, bro?
What's good? How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dog. What's going on?
Not much, man. About to catch a flight.
Where you going? Vegas?
Yeah, Battle Vegas. We on the way, baby. The raw way.
I saw that video. That video was fire, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did Battle create the video and then link it to? They
No,
collab with
that's Fat Boy Films. You know, Fat Boy is like the sickest in South Florida with the camera.
Fat Boy made that.
Fat Boy is sick.
Listen, man,
So,
I remember when Fat Boy was just getting started, man. They didn't know how to put a lens on the goddamn camera, man.
yeah, Fat Boy is him with the camera.
No, that video, no. He been working hard at it for a while, man. That video was fire, boy. I thought Battle made it.
Yeah, I believe it was him and Finkel. They did it together.
Yeah. Now that video was fire. So y'all headed to Battle Las Vegas.
Yes, sir.
Pylon started all this battles, all this Las Vegas stuff.
Yeah, with the Mecca, right?
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy, the Pylon. But the thing about Pylon Zone is it say Vegas, but when you go there, you stay in Vegas, but you travel goddamn. You got to travel about an hour and a half to get to the damn field.
That's
I think
what I was
Battle
told.
Vegas. I think Battle Vegas is actually in Vegas, right? Like y'all don't have to go
it's
far.
it's actually in Vegas. Like you could take a shuttle from the hotel to the field.
Okay, that's enough of the small talk. Hey, what you was smoking that day when you tweeted that, dog? Like, what was going on with your midlife crisis? What was up, bro?
Listen at you, man. It was, I believe, I don't believe it was an incorrect statement. I mean, maybe it was interpreted incorrectly, but I believe it was actual factual.
Now, well, I'm gonna give you this. I give you this on your side, and I know Rich ready for this. But Tony Romo doing the AFC divisional round clash between the Chargers and New England Patriots compared Derwin James to Sean Taylor also.
Really?
Yeah, he did. So you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one smoking. I mean, you and Tony. Tony the same. Tony the same dude that said, "Man, look, he got 3 niggas right there trying to tackle him the other day." So
Tony didn't. He didn't say it. He didn't say it. You can't say it.
3 knuckles right there trying to tackle him. Look at that, 3 knuckles.
It sounds like Tony on my side, so I'm gonna defend him today. He ain't say it.
But do you really have an argument? I mean, what are you talking about? The eye test, or what you talking about?
So measurables, of course. I mean, Sean Taylor was a little bit heavier. I think Derwin might be a little bit faster. I don't know about strength because I know Derwin is a freak. His measurables off the chart in every category, whether it's size, speed, lateral quickness. He's twitchy, and Derwin is used in more ways than I feel like Sean Taylor was. So people are saying, "Oh, Sean Taylor has more interceptions." Derwin also, you can't fault him. I mean, it's injury, so I can't make that an excuse. But Derwin's fought through injuries, and he's utilized by the Chargers in more ways than uh, what the Redskins were using Sean Taylor. And I don't people say Sean Taylor could, but I don't think he would be the same Sean Taylor today because we know Sean Taylor for his bruising hits. Like that's what made him. That's what made him the national known. Even the Pro Bowl hit still gets shown to this day. We know Sean Taylor for being one of the hardest hitters ever. So I don't know if Sean Taylor would be the same Sean Taylor today that he's known for being and revered for being back then. Derwin James could be the same Derwin. He could rush the passer. He could drop back in coverage. He can get involved in the run game. He could be the same Derwin James in 2006 that he could be in 2023.
But how old are you?
24.
I think that's part of our problem.
I see. I watched Sean. I didn't have the understanding of football that I do now, but he's still like I'm not denying his GOAT status. I'll just
right. I get it.
Probably picking a team. I'm taking Derwin.
I get it. When I saw Derwin James play in that Florida State spring game his freshman year, bro, I was impressed. I was. I started calling him a superhero. I was like, listen, man, this man is finna give us a problem. But he always stayed gimped up. Even in college, dog, he stayed hurt a lot.
Yeah, he does suffer from injuries often. I mean, I think he missed his whole sophomore year from injury, or he only played 3 or 4 games sophomore year.
Got the whole game showing up for you, Pokeway. KB in the house now.
Mm.
Hey, them boys done got out the bed. I'm like, oh hell no.
Man, look.
So it sounds like we
Let me
agree on Drake over Tupac, right?
No, we already
come
had
on
that
now.
conversation when I was at Macy's that night.
Listen. We not even gonna have that conversation on here. I'm gonna pull an X like he was in the space the other night when we started talking about LeBron versus MJ. Okay, let's just shut this down. We not even going towards Drake versus. We not going there. But I gotta tell you, Pokeway, it's a ritual for me when I go to the airport. You know what I'm saying? I grab me a double. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be gin and tonic or whatever. I grab me a double and I just relax. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I know that you probably did the same thing. You probably on that hen dog or something like
No
that.
sir. No
So
sir.
you speaking crazy right now.
No
You got a
sir.
long flight, right? You got a long flight. You got a
You
long
got
KB, what's up?
These are
What's
sober
good? What's
thoughts.
going on?
what's going on, KB?
So,
Nah, I just want to say this. I want to say this real quick before you go, KB. I want to say I get what you're saying. Derwin is probably, and the thing that puts any safety on our radar as fans is always that hitting ability.
Right.
And Derwin within this generation, he's a great hitter. I mean, when you start thinking about safeties, you start thinking about how they impacted the game, especially the run game. So you think of guys like Ronnie Lott, you think of Troy Polamalu, you think of guys who really brought that wood, and that's where you can compare Derwin. But those are where the comparisons stop. I'll say
Right.
that there's guys who played the game of football, and then there's dudes who are football players. And
Mm-hmm.
even in high school, when you look at Sean Taylor's track record in high school, Sean Taylor was always one of those athletes that was just above and beyond, head and shoulders above every other athlete. He played basketball at a high level. He played multiple positions on the football field. He played running back, played and played defense as well. Was over 1,000 yard rusher in high school. Gets to college, and now we are. I mean, to be honest, when you start looking at his career in college, you compare it to folks like Ed Reed, who has a gold jacket. And the reason you compare it to Ed Reed is because Ed Reed was one of the most cerebral safeties in the game. He outthunk everybody. Even Peyton Manning was like hated playing Ed Reed because Ed Reed made it a habit to stay 2 plays ahead of Peyton Manning, the great Peyton Manning. So then you look at Sean and you like, and just like you said, you some of the hits that Sean would make back then, you wouldn't be able to do them now. But because of how much of an athlete Sean was, I guarantee you, if he had to be a cover safety, he would still be better than Derwin James because he was better at coverage. So I think the other thing that Sean has that's head and shoulders above anybody that you would compare him to today is the fact that he played behind a guy like Ed Reed. So it's just like Miami, we got James Williams and we got Cam Kinchens right now. James has no excuse but to get better because he's around a guy every day who's going to challenge him at his own position. And that's the
Right.
same thing that Sean had. Derwin, I don't think Derwin had that. Derwin he came into Florida State as the top dog. And I think sometimes that it is a great thing because you get all the playing time, but it's also not a good thing because you don't have nobody behind you that's pushing you to be better. And I think Sean Taylor during those days, not only was he an exceptional athlete, but he also had dogs behind him who continually pushed him to be above and beyond what he was.
So Derwin still went first round though off of basically a year and a half of film because almost his entire sophomore year he sat out due to injury, and he didn't start initially as a freshman when he had number 36 before he got number three. So off of the year and a half, basically, he still was a first round pick. And if Derwin James was in this era, or if Polkway was in the Derwin James era, I promise you, you will understand what I'm saying. Because everything you just said about Sean Taylor in high school, Derwin did. Derwin excelled on the basketball court. Derwin, I played against him as a junior, and he literally lined up at every position except for center. He lined up at tight end, quarterback, running back, kicker,
In high
punter
school?
in high school, DN, D tackle, linebacker, safety, corner, placeholder. Like the only thing
Right.
he didn't do was snap the football. So
Yeah.
He
everything that
played for
was Sean,
Lakeland.
nah, that's the problem. He played for the school called Haines City. It's a little they
Got you.
keep
Yeah, yeah,
athletes.
yeah. Yep.
I don't
A
know if you
private
ever
school?
watch.
No,
No,
it's not. It's not a
it's a
private
public school,
school.
but if you ever watch Last Chance U, the first season, the kid DJ Law, number one, who was
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
going crazy, it was him and Derwin on the same team. They were the 1-2 punch, but that's all they had.
Yeah.
So
I
they
mean,
never
Sean Taylor
really
kind of the same story in high school, sort of. But listen, here, I'm live on Instagram, man. Y'all on Instagram. Listen, the question is, Polkway said a couple weeks ago, Derwin James was better than Sean Taylor. Tony Romo compared the two, so I was like, dive into this, man, to see if this is even close. Um, Sean Taylor was able to do anything, bro. I talked to my guy Philip Buchanan a lot, who played with him. And I've asked him those questions, like, man, you think Sean Taylor could play in this era? Like, what would he be? Would he be a linebacker? And his answer is, man, Sean was able to do anything.
right,
Like they figured, and this is in college. And Sean only played for what, 2 years, KB? Like he only got 2 years of run. Like it's sort of the same thing we're saying. You know what I'm saying? Why Derwin
right,
only played a year and a half? Injuries.
right.
See that
And then he
right. See
didn't
that
start
right.
off the rip.
That right there. That right there is that right there kind of puts Derwin behind Sean Taylor for the fact. Because I remember when I went to cover Florida State versus Miami. I got video of the game. I was in the locker room with Florida State. He was hurt then. He was just
Yeah.
standing on the sideline. Um, he stays nicked up, but yeah, Pope. I think the problem is that Sean Taylor actually passed in 2007, and you're 24 years old, bro. How old are you?
24,
I think that's part
24.
of these crazy arguments you coming up with, especially about Tupac and Drake. But we'll get into that another day. Uh, and I wasn't even a Tupac fan. KB,
Yo, yo.
you got you. Do you think is this an argument, bro? How you feel about this?
Oh, nah. I'll wait for y'all to get to the next subject, man. This don't interest me at all.
I understand. I agree. It's I was right.
Let's see. Let's see. Look, I'm looking at their stats in the NFL, their accolades in the NFL. Derwin James been in the NFL since 2000, 2018. So Derwin been in the NFL, what, 5 years?
Uh-huh.
Roughly.
Right.
Sean, let's see. Was in the NFL because the accolades aren't even close. Sean died in 2007. He got drafted in oh wow. Drafted in 2004. So he only played 3 years, right?
Right.
Yeah, like
But I
two and a
think Sean
half.
Taylor has more games played.
Really?
I I think he does.
What? So in 3 years, Sean Taylor, 299 tackles, 12 interceptions, 9 forced fumbles. This man got 9 forced fumbles. Our boy Derwin James, in 5 years, has 372 tackles, 9 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 7 interceptions. Boy, Derwin James is a damn good safety, bro.
Yeah.
But we can't do this.
Yeah.
This man got 5. This man got 5 years in the NFL, man, and their stats are like. I don't think he's durable enough. I don't think he's durable enough. I don't think he. I don't think he gets a chance, or I don't know if he's stealing money. I don't know what y'all doing up there in Lakeland, but I
Listen
don't
at
think.
this man.
Derwin reminds me of that safety who went to Tennessee for 3 years and then got in the NFL. He was in the NFL for like 5 or 7 years. Had a like some type of
Eric Berry.
disease. Ed Berry. Yep, he
Eric
reminds
Berry.
me
Yeah,
of
Eric
Eric.
Berry.
Eric.
Eric Berry.
You say you remind you of him.
Yeah,
Son,
one of them
I
guys where he's can't miss. Like Eric Berry was can't miss. I
Right.
believe Derwin is like that. He's a can't miss safety. You will never like in this era. It's hard to pick somebody over Derwin James. Um, but when you start talking about Sean, you start talking about the greats. You start talking about Hall of Famers. Um, Sean is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
So
I think Polkway
I
thinks that's
don't compare.
because he died early. I bet you that's what Polkway believes.
Yeah, I definitely think he was immortalized because his
Mm-hmm.
untimely death.
Right.
Because I'm gonna throw one at you. Ed Reed is a better safety than Derwin James.
Of course.
He
Yeah.
does he
Ed
doesn't hit
Reed a
like
better
Derwin.
safety than Sean Taylor.
That's arguable too. I'll
He
argue
is.
that one.
I think that's undoubtedly, in my opinion. Like Sean Taylor
In the
is,
NFL.
yeah. I mean, like overall body of work. Like I gotta go Ed Reed. But
Well,
Sean
yeah, I
Taylor
mean, Sean didn't get
is
the
like my goat. Like
Sean.
we love Sean Taylor. Everybody in my generation loves Sean Taylor because it's like one of those great fables. Like you got to see him a little bit, but we really didn't understand how great he was. So his impact is larger than anything that could resemble words because he died at his peak. So you can say you don't
I
know how
separate
great
the
he could have
two.
been.
I separate the two. I separate his college and his pro career, and I think that's only fair. So for me to have the argument to say I could put up an argument about Sean Taylor being a better college safety than Ed Reed, but in the overall scheme of things, of course not. I'm gonna take Ed Reed. You know what I'm saying as the greatest
Right.
safety ever. So I
Right.
understand everything Pope was saying, and about it's like folklore. You know what I'm saying because he died so young and all that kind of stuff. And I get it because like when people ask me, who's the greatest running back ever, right? I always leave Jim Brown out, and I tell them that I wasn't there to see Jim Brown play. Like I can't do this off of highlights and games. I can't do it. I wasn't around in that era, so I only judge Walter, Barry, and Emmett. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
Right.
I'm sorry, I got it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I always say without using Jim Brown, I'll give you who I think it is or whatever. So I understand what Folkway is saying. But to me, this is kind of like a non-conversation when it comes to Derwin and Sean Taylor.
Give my boy Derwin 2 years and let him keep himself healthy. Conversation would be different.
What you say?
Give him 2 healthy years. We'll revisit this in 2025.
He 5 in, man. Don't look like it's gonna happen, dog. We don't play football forever.
He just hitting his peak.
We're gonna be back in Lakeland, man. On the Burger King with a food truck or something
Come,
soon, man.
hey,
Like,
Right.
he can own whatever. He the highest paid safety in the league.
nah, he got it now. He loaded now.
Yeah, they dropped the
But
they
you,
dropped the
you,
70
you,
mil on him.
you know that's the thing with Sean. Sean didn't reach his peak. Sean didn't die at his peak.
Not at
Sean
all.
was 3 years
Not at all.
in, got an injury. Sean hadn't got there yet. He hadn't got that mental part of the game. Not that he didn't know the game, but he
Right.
didn't get that. Like we talk about how cerebral Air was and
Yeah.
learning the whole game, and when the game totally slowed down, he didn't even get there yet. So, and that's
Didn't
another
even get
reason
there.
why Polkway speak the way he does. Like we just saw him as tip the iceberg. We didn't even see him get the way he's gonna get to. So I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, Sean Taylor, 3 years, 2 Pro Bowls, dog. 3 years he went to 2 Pro Bowls. I think Derwin scratching
This had to be number 3 or 4.
three He went to 3 Pro Bowls in his 5 years.
Yeah,
First
but
team.
Sean would have been a league MVP had he played 3 more years. He would have been a
An
league MVP.
MVP on defense?
Yeah, of the whole league.
An
Of the
NFL
whole
MVP?
league.
No,
Yes.
no. See, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Because when you talk about the
It's the
cerebral part of
legend
the
of Sean
game,
Taylor. No, bro.
okay, you're right. But he's the
MVP
only
is
person
crazy.
he's the only person who had the physicality to do something like that. So you think about him learning that cerebral part or becoming as or close to as cerebral as Ed Reed was. Man, could you imagine that
Scary, man. That would be scary.
with his body type? Oh man,
You don't think we've seen that since?
no.
Mm-mm. Sean Taylor was like a linebacker playing safety. He was built like a linebacker out there playing safety, but just almost as fast as a cornerback.
Right.
That was unreal. Like
Yeah.
somebody created
Yeah,
that.
he was
Bro. It was
different.
crazy.
He was
Man.
different.
Yeah,
He was different.
yeah. That was freakish, though. That was freakish. Then I think that now the only thing I would say might have slowed him down was he did put on the size. That might have been a little bit too much. So that might have took away some of that explosion back there in the secondary. But we don't know. We didn't really get to see him continue to play with it. So
Right.
How much? I mean, what this weight y'all talking about? What, he was 215, right?
I don't know how much the weight was, but you just saw him from his first training camp to his last. He had got so jacked. It was bro, it was crazy.
Yeah, he got
let's
bigger.
see if we can find his real weight.
Yeah, I don't know about the weight. I
And
just know just
during that
his
time,
his physique.
during that time in the league, you had some receivers who was getting like that too, getting real, like David Boston
Yeah.
and guys like
David
that.
Boston, hell yeah.
Because him and Derwin James, they all the same size, like 6'2", 212, 6'2", 215.
Sean ain't get to 220 something or 230.
Look at how Derwin built too, and they 3 pounds apart.
Maybe. Yeah, he ended up. Yeah, he actually got to
He's
230.
6'3", 230.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got to 230, bro. That's crazy. Yeesh.
230 is crazy.
That's crazy, though. That's Andre Johnson's size.
Yeah, that's the exact same
And
size.
we didn't see him lose anything. He was still back there running.
Yeah. Andre Johnson was that same exact size, right? 6'3", 230, 235.
Something like that.
Wait, what time your flight leave, bro?
We delayed right now. It was supposed to be 10:45. We're looking at 11:38 right now, so we're gonna see. Got about 30
Got
minutes.
time for one more drink.
See, I have. You said,
Got
what
time for
you
one more drink.
said? You said a gin and tonic double.
Yeah,
I need to go see what that's about.
He
Gin
about
and
to
I
come
don't even
do
think
it.
anything is open right now. It's late. I might just have to settle with Starbucks.
Now you in Miami
who else
Airport?
from down here going to battle?
I'm in Tampa. I don't know who else. I know Immortals is going,
Yeah, I saw Immortals was going.
but other than that, I am not sure.
This y'all
I
second
am
tournament
not
y'all
sure.
played in?
Yeah, this will be tournament number 2, and then we at Chicago Pylon next week.
Now you a part of Raw, the Raw team?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
But listen, man, man, go on. You got a question for him?
Nah, I was just gonna
You good?
ask what Raw. Um, so it's still South Florida Express, Immortals, and now it's Raw.
It's a lot of 7
Right.
teams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. What you saying, like the top ones?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if Raw is the new South Florida Express or they're just two different teams.
No, they're two different teams. Raw
It's yeah,
was
it's with
started
Raw.
kind of
It's
by
yeah.
yeah. They split from Immortals. The Warso went to Immortals, helped out, then met. I mean, I ain't gonna say met Ruiz. He's friends with Alex Ruiz. They came up with an idea to split Raw and try to turn it into something bigger. You see some of the partnerships that they have. They're trying to turn it into like a national thing with Raw, where it's flat out, hey, this is a national team. It ain't like, oh man, South Florida Express, y'all got kids from out of town playing quarterback. It all started with, hey, listen, it's going to be a national team. We're going to bring kids in from all across the nation. I think they have a sponsorship with Adidas. They're the first team to ever get a sponsorship with Adidas, other than South Florida Express. So South Florida Express kind of had a contract that they would only be the only team that can get Adidas sponsorship. And it's been like that for a long time. So I'm sure that clash is coming soon. That I'm sure South Florida Express is has them on their radar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
For
I was
sure.
there at Ruiz's house today when I guess when the talks having the conversation about this thing happening, and I guess it came to fruition. But Raw, I guess, is trying to create something a little deeper than just 7-on-7. Um, and we'll see
So,
how it pan out.
so let's move that
Yes, sir. I
conversation to the
appreciate y'all having
future.
me on.
All right,
I was
man,
just gonna say real quick,
go
real
relax,
quick, real
man.
quick,
Yes, sir.
real quick. I was about to say. I mean, with NIL right there in our face, or is it just gonna be a league wide thing? Every single league, whether it be 7-on-7, if they get that law in Florida passed for kids to get paid. I mean, will kids start getting paid at every level? What do y'all think?
What you
Like
mean? What you
13U.
mean?
Like if a kid is good as a 9 or 10 year old, and let's say he's 12 years old, like is we are we gonna make it put it on the
Paid
table
by
where a
who?
kid can get paid?
Paid by McDonald's or somebody like that? You saying like a sponsorship?
Yeah, because already know that people bet on youth sports, so I'm pretty sure there's people who willing to pay kids to go play on certain teams.
KB,
No.
KB, Rich been drinking too. Rich been drinking too. don't answer that, Polkway. Don't answer that. I
All
don't know.
right,
Rich.
all right.
No, no. All right, Polkway, man, holler at us, bro.
All right. Thank y'all for having me on, bro.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, bro.
Rich, what are we doing, Rich? What is your question? Huh?
I mean,
What do
my
you
question is real simple. We know that kids, all the youth football games, we know that people are out there betting on kids, right? So how do you build these super teams if you're not paying people to come play for you?
when
I'm
last
just
time you
being
been to
I'm just
sleep,
being
Rich?
I'm
I
being
know you're in
Captain
Miami, dog.
Obvious
You
here.
got some sleep? Huh? You got some sleep since you've been out here, dog. What's going? Where we going at with this question, dog?
I'm being Captain Obvious and saying
Huh?
I'm basically saying why would a kid go from
No,
playing for South Florida Express to playing to some other entity? Like,
you think
what's the
you
difference?
think you think they just passed a law so Ray with the trap hole can pay for little Ray to play for a lot of Hurricanes? You think that's why they passed the law?
No, that's not why they would pass the law. But
No.
we all know that this is where it's going.
KB, help me explain what Rich
Mm-hmm.
talking about, KB. What is Rich talking about, KB?
He talking about pay for play with 7-on-7.
But pay from
Well,
who?
everything,
Like,
youth football as well. I mean, all right, if you got
Coaches,
sponsors
anything.
that's lining up,
Coaches, sponsors.
right? Because if you get
I,
Adidas to sponsor a team, Adidas wants to
Mm-hmm.
win. They don't want a losing team. They're not gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sponsor all y'all stuff and go get some poor little Timmys out there to wear our brand. They ain't gonna do that.
How did it read? I think it did. I think it read something like coaches and somebody else could help kids get paid or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Mm.
I don't. I don't.
And I'm not mad at it. I'm just being
I don't.
real.
I don't. No, we're not. I don't think we're there yet, bro. I don't. I
Okay.
don't. I don't. I don't. I don't think. I don't think we're there yet. Because in your mind, you're thinking that what? Hey, kids can get paid now. It's legal to play kids to play football.
Because my thing is, if a new league comes out of Florida, right? Because we saw Immortals, everybody, and then people branched off from there, and then you had SFE, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now you got Immortals, you got SFE. I don't know if there's a third 7-on-17 coming out of South Florida. I mean, you're gonna want Jeremiah, you're gonna want Josiah Trader on your team, man.
Right.
And there's no difference between one from the other unless all your friends is on one team, then you want to play with your friends. But other than that, I mean, money talks, BS walks. I'm not gonna play for a
Um.
team just because Adidas is gonna give me some gloves. That's not how the game's played anymore.
I don't. I don't
Okay?
see it. I gotta say. I don't foresee it going there anytime soon. I may be
Okay.
wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I don't foresee it going there anytime soon. A large the problem. Part of the problem is that our kids that play, we're not we're not we're not business minded like that. Like our the
Okay.
families will say something more so like, I ain't selling my kid instead of looking at it like a business transaction. So that mindset there has to change, period, for anything like that to be put in play, etched in stone. You feel me?
I feel you. I feel you. No, I mean it's a
Um,
I mean, great question. I mean, why would I what is so different about South Florida Express versus Raw versus Immortals? Like it's all 7-on-7 teams. All these teams apparently have dogs on them teams. They all
mm-hmm,
go visit places around the country, so you get that opportunity as a kid to go out of the state and go visit colleges and get exposure. So they all have the same thing. So now it boils down to, okay, if I'm an amateur skater, right?
uh-huh.
Why would I sign with this club versus that club? Because they both gonna give me a free skateboard. They both gonna give me shoes and a shirt. So the only difference now is who gonna pay me money to do what I love. That's the only
See,
difference.
KB, you got something on this?
Yeah, I think it got to make sense of both parties, right? We can say, yeah, the kid can get paid or want to get paid, but what's the point of the 7-on-7 paying kids? Like, what are they? Where's their return on investment to get, like Warren Sapp say, get a trophy, take it home, and put it by your desk in the office? Like, I mean, I don't know.
You'd be
I'm asking
surprised.
legitimately. I mean, I don't know. What's the
You
return on investment? Maybe it's something there. I don't know. No, no.
well, I mean, in this case, when you talk
They
about
in the comment section. The boys in the
Adidas,
comment section saying everybody's better than Derwin James. Earl Thomas,
I know
Eric
I was,
Berry,
I was
The
gonna say
boys
that.
going off.
Buda Baker,
Deacons.
Chancellor,
That's
Mika,
hilarious, bro.
Brian
Go ahead,
Dawkins.
Rich.
Yeah,
What
yeah. No, I was about to say like when you get Adidas to give you a sponsorship, first and foremost, for the people who are heading up to 7-on-7, this could
mm-hmm.
make the 7-on-7 a year-round thing for you. it can make it an occupation for you with the amount of money that they're going to give you as a sponsorship for this team. So that makes it real business, right? So now, as a kid, you're like, wait a minute, Adidas paying y'all so that y'all can run around with us, and all the fanfare and the hoopla and all the cameras that's here and all that, everybody getting paid except the kids that's on the field.
Yeah, that
But y'all come
conversation
here to
never
see us.
happens. That never happens. We watched college football for umpteen years, and nobody ever said a word.
I got you. And and I'm not gonna say it's a shame, but I'm gonna say I would say that when those amateur skaters and those BMX bikers and all those other alternative sports, when they go out and do what they do at 14 years old, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. So when you see that kid on a BMX bike flip over
Mhm.
5 times and break his
Right.
arm, he like, oh well, I made $1 million.
You're saying it should be the same thing for battle. Some people argue that with battle. Some people argue with battle that listen, battle puts on a lot of events for these kids. They put the kids on the pedestal, but they don't pay the kids for the marketing
Right.
that they do for them. Um, and it's almost like a lot of times the families are just happy to be on the pedestal, but battle is in it
Right.
with doing business, and
They doing business.
right, and we don't. Yeah, we don't. This all goes back to me sitting down with Mo, man, and Shamar Stewart, and y'all thought, I don't know what y'all thought, but it all goes back to that. You
Yeah.
understand? It all goes back to Shamar City having somebody with him that's going to talk business.
Right.
And whether you like it or not, what you're saying, Rich, is that, hey, listen, if you're getting something for me, I should get something back.
Exactly.
Right. I get what you're saying, because if BMX sees value in that kid riding around on that bike, and we're talking about extreme sports,
Hmm.
Nicholas Lavallee or Jeremiah Smith running around with your gloves on, it should have some value.
It should.
Do you think it's too many of them, KB? Supply and demand?
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's it's so yeah. It's so watered down, man. And I don't know. I don't
Right.
follow it enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say like with the extreme sports, with the BMX bikers and all that stuff, they have to get sponsorships. Like they have to get money to do what they do, because there's no leagues for them that they can sign up for. And you know what I'm saying? The school won't have, gloves and helmets for you and new pedals and all those type of things or whatever. So it is kind of
Right.
different. It is kind of different. But again, like I say, I don't know. If you're telling me there's a lot of money in 707 floating around, and then yeah, then that's the conversation we should be having. I don't know if that money's floating around. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I'm
I
I'm
don't think
just
it's
I'm
attached.
just
I don't
connecting
think
the
it's attached
dots.
to it.
I'm just
I don't
connecting
think
the
it's attached to
dots.
it. Yeah. No, I mean somebody would have to, like, we don't know, like, yeah, bro, parties just have to get better at business, and or get better at knowing your value at least.
Mhm.
We don't know what Adidas gets for what Adidas gives South Florida Express. Like, it could be
Right.
uniform, it could be shoes, it could be clothes, it could be a bunch of money, but
Mhm.
only person who knows that is Brad.
I
Mhm.
get it, but here's my thing. Here's my thing. To transport 20 kids to several different states,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't free.
Sometimes their
Not
parents
only
pay for
that,
it.
but
Bro. These kids, these teams don't have sponsorships, all of them. And then even
not
when the
all of them.
sponsorships aren't paying for them to travel for the most part. You'll be surprised.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But even if
sometimes their
they are,
parents
it's
are
like
paying.
it's right. But even if they are, it's like asking. All right, sponsor, you paying for our trip there and that. You think the sponsor gonna actually also come out the pocket just to pay y'all individually if there's nothing coming back for that sponsor besides advertisement? All right,
Right.
these are legit questions from me. Like I don't know, but I'm just saying like with Adidas, okay, Adidas, why are you in this? Oh, this just like our advertisement budget. You know what I'm saying? People get to go, they get to go from city to city. People see Adidas get decked out, do, right? But that's not the same as me, doing all that plus putting money in these kids' pockets. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's when it's like, okay, no, because my return on investment is not coming back like that. Y'all just doing advertising for me, and in return, yeah, we get y'all shoes and clothes, we fly y'all out and all that kind of stuff. But it's not money come back in my pocket. I don't know if it is, but I'm just that's the way I look at it.
Right.
No, I feel you. I feel you. That's a wonderful assessment. My thing is, if I was gonna go in the game and I was going to wear anything that had Battle, Adidas, or I'll be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna play in my T-shirt and shorts with no name on it.
You got too much
If you
leverage, bro.
want me to play, if you want me to
Come on,
play
Mhm.
with
Rich.
your
Rich, your balls
logo
ain't
on,
that your balls ain't that big, Rich. Your
I
balls ain't
mean,
that big at 16, walking there and
yeah,
talking about
16. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know to do that. You would just be happy playing against, as they advertise it to you, top competition. All these boys is dogs. You coming to compete. We'll do whatever.
is
But
that what we want to
I'm
happen?
just saying.
Do we want that to happen? Do we want youth
Here's
sports
why.
and stuff to turn into
I here's
I
why
don't
I
think
do.
so.
I do because, and I'm not saying you got to give a kid $1 million to go play flag football. I'm not saying that, but uh, like they say in church, right? When a guest speaker comes, give them an honorarium if they play a game, right? I
mm-hmm,
say that because a lot of those kids, especially in a sport like football, they
uh-huh.
come from different type of backgrounds, and the sacrifice that their parents got to make in order for their child to go up there and occupy all of their time with football during the off season when they could be studying to get better grades, to get an academic scholarship.
Right.
I think there's a case where you could say, all right, I could have my son stay here at the crib, training myself. That way he could further himself academically, right? And still get him a D1 scholarship. But now he getting a D1 scholarship and has over a 3.5 GPA.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
Instead
how
of
far
going,
does that go? Like, how far does that go? So then, do I all of a sudden say, "Well, you're not playing for the high school either because they're not paying you"? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I get everything you're saying, but there's also there's a give and take for it, right? So we're talking youth sports. Like I don't know what age we're talking, but if we're talking like little league and all that kind of stuff, there's a give and take there. Like your kid is here for a reason. He's learning to play the game. He has somewhere to go to keep him out of trouble. Like there's things that your kid is benefiting from too by coming over here. It's not just like, yeah, I'm
absolutely,
sending
I
you my
agree.
kid and y'all finna do. So it's like in that realm in Little League, ain't nobody making money off that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody really making any money off of that to say we should be spreading it out amongst those kids. This is just my opinion. But your kid is getting something out of this. Now I think there's a certain age for when we start talking about the monetary value of all this kind of stuff. And that's, when we're about to leave high school or maybe even entering high school. We got to see where the money is. I don't know. I just don't see where the money is.
No,
Right.
I'm saying
Like people are saying, people are saying like, but if you're saying like, okay, like I got to invest my time and get my kid, this is for your kid's benefit too, to get him out here playing sports. Like there's a lot that you gain from
no, no,
playing
no, no, no.
sport,
You're
not
you're
just
right. You're right. But check it out. So when you go to public school, it's a public school, right? and you could choose whatever
Mhm.
public school you want your kid to go to. And because it is a public school, and one of the things that they offer is sports, yes, your kid can go there, and from a payment perspective, I wouldn't necessarily say that this kid needs to get paid to go to a public school. I don't think there should be any, because it's public, right?
Mhm.
7-on-7 is just like AAU basketball, very similar. If you want the best kid in the nation in basketball to be a part of your AAU squad, I'm telling you, it's some brown paper bags that's being passed around for the best players to be on the best AAU squad. We all know this. So this has nothing to do with public school. This has nothing to do with teaching the kid the fundamentals. This has everything to do with folks who run an AAU squad, and they want that AAU squad to have more sponsorship dollars, and they also want to win. And in order to win, they pay the ultimate price. 7-on-7 is the same. This is what it's evolved to. It used to be a thing where we're gonna go out there in the park, have a good time, play flag football, something to keep the kids, at-risk youth off the street, blah blah blah. Now it's like big money coming in, saying, "Nah, man, we're gonna advertise, we're gonna showcase these kids, name, image, likeness, blah blah blah, and then we're gonna make a return on investment."
Mhm.
That's how they view it. So if that's where they're going with it, you got to keep up with them and be like, okay, great. I will wear your logo. I'll do all that. But because this is the way where it's trending to, and I see the cameramen out here. I see these people. We riding up in this type of car. We staying at these hotels. Okay, people getting paid around me, but I'm the
Mhm.
one playing.
Yeah, that can go on forever.
That's when it changes.
It's been going on forever. I was trying to call my homeboy Frog. He's been in the AAU circuit for a long time, and I was gonna ask him like, has it got to a point where these dudes are paying to put these teams together? I don't I don't know if it can possibly definitely possibly be. I mean, but a lot of times we don't deal in business like that. Like we don't deal in we don't deal in business like that in value. Um, so a lot of times when this happens is probably imposed by the adult, the coach or the handler or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
but no, bro. I mean, I don't foresee us being there like all out there anytime soon. To be honest with you, um, what you're saying in theory sounds cool, but I think it fits a lot of situations when it comes to understanding value and getting value for your work. And yeah, man, it's just we've seen we've seen kids make companies buku money. Like those little kids in Africa, I hope they're getting paid to do all those dances. I hope somebody is putting
I'm
pancakes in their
telling you.
pocket, doing something. You know what I'm saying? I
Say
see they always eating
pancakes.
chicken. I see they get chicken. They always eat chicken. They always got a bowl of Bojangles. They get chicken. You know what I'm saying? But I hope somebody's paying them.
Right.
Yeah, I hope some bread. I saw them in Dubai the other day. I hope they get paid.
I'm telling you.
So listen, man. We got on here, man. I'm just went live on Facebook, so we got on here talking about Derwin James. I mean, Pokeway and Tony Romo said Derwin James. Compare Derwin James to Sean Taylor. Pokeway said Derwin James is better than Sean Taylor, but bless Pokeway. So Pokeway is 24 years old. Sean Taylor died in 2007. Pokeway called me and said Drake was greater than Tupac, and I said Pokeway, I understand what you're trying to say, because everything Drake touches turns to gold. But you picked the wrong artist. Yeah, go
Yeah.
play with somebody else. Yeah, you picked the wrong artist. I wasn't even a Tupac fan like that, but you picked the wrong artist. Tupac died and put out more albums than most people's career.
Very true.
While he was dead, we heard more music from Tupac than a lot of these dudes' careers, though.
Right.
Man man did more in the span of the time he got out of jail and went to death row. He did more than probably any artist has ever done in that span of how many months was that? Man,
Yeah.
2 movies, two movies, enough music to make 5 to 10 albums. Like, bro, hosted Saturday Night Live. Did the what awards did he do? The Grammy? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's not.
It's too much. I understand. Drake has been hot for a long time. I get it, but yeah, he tried to touch the prince of rap. And Derwin James, man, he's still in the comment section saying Cam Kitchen's better than Derwin James, Pat Chung better than Derwin James, Eric Berry better than Derwin James, Malcolm Jenkins better than Derwin James, Eric Weddle, Chancellor James better than Derwin James. He said this ain't even close. I just wanted to have a conversation
Sanders
because
better than Derwin James.
I just wanted to live jump in here and have that conversation and look at the numbers live and say, okay, what is he talking about? They're the same size, same height. Derwin James doesn't play enough. Like Derwin James is hurt. He doesn't play enough. How you in the league 5 games? You play the same amount of games somebody in the league 3 games. 3 years. Yeah, how you in the league 5 years? Got the same amount of games. Yeah, that's right off the bat right there. That's the problem. I just wanted to do that live. So moving on, man. Listen, University of Miami looking for an OC.
Can I put in my application?
Coach Dennis out there, you might as well. Coach Dennis out there tweeting the owner of Jones Stowe's Crab and people. Oh man, the owner name is Brian Johnson. Owner name isn't Brian Johnson. That's not the owner name. I don't know where that came from. But what answer did y'all come up with about that picture that Dennis tweeted?
He likes to eat good.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I just got home. I haven't seen it. I just got home. So
he tweeted a picture. Who owns Jones Stowe's Crab? He tweeted a picture of the owner of Jones Stowe's Crab. Let's see.
So look, Street. Somebody. Devin James said the general manager's name is Brian Johnson.
Either the general manager or the guy that wrote the story. Because as soon as you Google it, right? The Brian Johnson, either the general manager or the guy that wrote the story, name was Brian Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I'll show it to y'all. And people with low reading comprehension was like, oh man, the owner name Brian Johnson. Because as soon as you Google it, that's what you see. Now, I know y'all are kind of lost. Like, what are we talking about Brian Johnson? Well, Brian Johnson is the quarterback coach for the Eagles who play in the Super Bowl Sunday. And some people seem to believe that the reason we haven't heard a name is because we got to wait after the Super Bowl. I heard a name, but I don't feel like making y'all cry, so I'm just keep it to myself. It's Friday night. We having a good night, and we just, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it that way. I talked to the villains about it. I make the villains cry. They pay to be made cry. That's what they in there for.
They pay to cry.
But yeah. But that's where the Brian Johnson stuff is coming from. It was a story. Like, as soon as you Google it, the first story comes up. It was written by Miami Herald. It says Brian Johnson and Joan Stowe's Crab. I think he was the actual author of the. But somebody saying the general manager name is Brian Johnson also.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. I don't know.
I know X called me and was like, "Oh man, the owner of Jones Stoves." I think he meant to say, yeah. I think he meant to say what he was saying. Maybe it is the general manager. Um. I have the article right here. What am I looking for? But I don't know, man. The search for an OC is live in effect. Shouts out to Mario for finding a DC really, really fast. Yeah, sorry, because listen, bro, I started losing hope for Mario and these coaches searches, dog. It started getting ugly, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to him for pulling the trigger on that real fast. But the guy, Lance, the guy that they actually hired, Mario, they say Mario's been trying to hire him for like 11 years. Tried to hire him at FIU. I think he tried to hire him at Oregon. He had a setback, had a DUI at Western Kentucky. And had a setback. I see the OBB boys broke down some of his Marshall film. And our new tweeter retweeted all of them.
I don't know. I might check that. I don't really follow OBB, but I might go check that out.
It's right on Caneville Twitter. Right there. They
Check.
broke down some of his film. But the excitement about the new defensive coordinator is one of the bigger things is that I think sometimes we miss the boat on is that he's going to relate to the South Florida kids. He's from Louisiana. He's going to relate to the kids. They say he would have been further along because he's never really coached at a Power 5 school, but they say he would have been further along if he wasn't derailed. If he wasn't derailed with the DUI, and slowed him down. So maybe it's a guy that come here, have some success, and appreciates it and stay here. Because this coaching carousel is getting crazy, and if it keeps happening, then you're gonna have to blame Luigi brother. You're gonna have to.
I mean,
eventually.
We're still up in the air in terms of, I mean, if you got kids out there wanting a bond, your receivers with your quarterback, it's hard to do when you don't know what the playbook is going to be. You can go out there and play, just toss the ball around as friends, but if you want to be a team, you got to right. If you want to be a team,
friends. People say there's friends. No, man. I mean, yeah. The OC, y'all claim, a lot of y'all claim had to happen. That had to happen. No way that had to happen. Then the DC leave. Now y'all looking at it like, you know what I'm saying?
People scared.
Yeah, I mean, so it's what's up?
At this point, all I gotta say is it has to work. Like it has to work, because if not, like you say, we're gonna be looking at Luigi brother real strange, because it just don't.
Yeah,
because it just don't work. It's gonna be like, bro, okay, now you got to get out of your own way, and the way that you want to do things might not be working in our favor. So you're gonna have to make an adjustment, bro, and do things different. You have to get a list. You can't just sit there. It's like watching a stock. You can't keep sitting there and just hoping for that bounce, hoping it's gonna recover. Dude, cut it loose. You You know what I'm saying? So you can't just keep sitting there waiting on this guy, waiting on this guy. Hey, sir, we need you by this date. If you in, yada yada yada. If not, we're gonna move on to the next candidate, and so on and so forth, and just get it done. I'm just saying, if this doesn't work, we're gonna have to start looking at the process, the way we do things.
Right. And we only 1 year into it. Oh, okay, I give them that. We only 1 year into it. We ain't. You gonna give them some time. But man, it's been rough.
Mhm.
I think we down what, 4 coaches, 3 coaches.
That quick.
LP says it's
I
not just a
usually
Miami
agree.
problem though. LP says
It's
not just a
not,
Miami
but
problem though.
it's
But
not.
the
But
way in
we
which
don't
we
have a contingency plan. That's our problem.
right, that's the problem.
What's the problem?
And we
I
don't have a
mean,
philosophy either.
we right, and you can't have a contingency plan without a philosophy. So we don't have a contingency plan. Like, look, think about it. We lost our defensive coordinator and essentially ended up losing or gonna lose or whatever the co-defensive coordinator. How the hell does that happen? Because usually one steps right into the next one. So we didn't have a true contingency plan there.
Exactly.
So yeah. So like Saban, like everybody likes to point at Saban, but Saban has philosophy in place. So all Saban has to do is go look at guys that he may like and say, hey, can you come in and run this and run that? Yes. All right, come on.
Right.
It's an easy field, you know?
The Charlie Strong thing. Charlie Strong felt that, hey, listen, I could at least got an interview, or
Mhm.
you, or promote
I
somebody
agree.
around me, promote one of these young boys, promote one of these young guys around me, and I support them. But don't bring somebody in here that has less accolades than I have and ask me to work for them. Um, I understand this argument. If you're a villain, y'all have heard us speak openly about Charlie Strong, and what we've heard coming out of Green Tree. I don't know, KB. To me, it felt like it was an out.
Out by who? By him?
Yeah, you know how sometimes you gotta go home
Mm-hmm.
and they ball with your ball, and you be like, man, y'all ain't throwing me the ball, man. Give me my ball, man. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's what it kind of
Yeah.
feels like. That's what it kind of feels like. That's what it kind of feels like. Like he said, man, y'all ain't gonna throw me the ball, man. Give me my ball. I'm gonna go home. But he had to go home because his mama was. You know what I'm saying? You know he had to be home at a certain time. Kind of feels like Charlie just took her out. Like, man, let me get out of it. Kind of like what Antoine Jackson
Yeah.
tried to do, man. Man, this my chance.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of feel like because
Yeah.
yeah, what we heard coming out of Green Tree, Charlie Strong, like yeah, I was telling y'all, no, maybe not, maybe he may not be the next DC.
Mhm. But that's why I say, like, what's the real contingency plan? Because usually you have the co guy there for a reason, right? But he was our co guy, I guess, just because we wanted him to come in with be with the linebackers, fill the spot, get you some good money, whatever. But we you gotta have a plan in place. So like for me, and this is out of the blue, I'm gonna say this because I was having this conversation today. This is what I mean by contingency plans. You look at Steel, right? You look at
Mm-hmm.
Steel's age, you look at Strong's age. I would have, if we have everything working right and everybody's getting along, and what we had was still here, and everybody's in this whole, everybody's in this together. And not to rehash this, but I would have said, okay, if we had everything still in place, and I've got Ed here, hey, let's move Strong up. Ed, you be the co-DC with him. You're the DC in training base. Because we know Strong hasn't got too many years left. So that's the spot that you're gonna move into because I know you don't want to be a position coach. Coordinator is not a bad thing. I know you like to be here with the alumni. Hell, I still would have did it right now. It ain't working. I did it right now. Well, slide on in. I mean, but that's if everybody's copacetic. You slide on in here. You and Strong can do this together. That way, we keep some continuity. We have a plan in place. I don't have to go call Popo and reassure him that everything is okay. But that's if I think that Strong is still capable of doing the job. You know, the man's getting up there. You know what I'm saying? I can't just do it just because. You know what I'm saying? But that would be something I would thought of doing. Yeah, that's the contingency plan. Like why I have been like I would have been asking Ed these last couple of years, dog, you sure you don't want to coach? What if I ease you into this thing? Yada 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 yada. Same thing with guys that, Amon Richards. Like what do you well no, I think he said he's not ready to coach. But just giving an example. Amon, you still around the program, you retired early. Why don't you start, be a GA for me? You know what I'm saying? And you gradually work your way in, and I want you to one day be a receivers coach. It's the Clemson model, like Rich is always talking about. You have your contingency plans in place, but obviously,
Right.
Mario want to do things a different way. And I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that, but I'm just saying you look at a Saban, you look at a Dabo, they have the future already, churning. And I'm not saying Mario doesn't. Maybe some things happened that derailed his future plans, but I'm just giving the example.
Mhm.
Somebody said if Lance doesn't work out, Mario's seat will be on fire.
Mm-mm. That man got too much money, too many years.
It's gonna be real hard to set his seat on fire.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be real hard to put him on a hot seat on the hot seat, dog.
We may, as fans, we may do it, but it's just gonna be us starting the fire and the boosters coming and throwing water on it. That's what it's gonna be. Like ain't nobody, the real hot seat part. That's not gonna nah. You got to give him like 2 more years before he get on the real hot seat. And I don't think we're gonna get to that point. I think Mario again. I think Mario's gonna make us a real team again. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to finish the job.
Right. 1 or 2 more recruiting classes like this one.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be able to sleepwalk himself into an ACC championship game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But nah, it's gonna be hard to put Mario on the hot seat, man. That seat was crafted by Iceman himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be. Remember Iceman just shoot the ice?
Yeah.
It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard to put him on, man. Nah, man, he got way too much leverage behind him. It's just been a rough start, and man, we're behind the power curve again. So yeah, we got TBD. Like we got what do y'all think TBD thinking?
Started staring at pictures of Notre Dame.
That little meme with Wolverine when he on that picture in his hand.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he touching the picture, looking at. Hey,
Oh my
let me answer
God,
305.
man.
Let me answer 305 question real quick, or what his statement I just said. What's question? He said he disagreed with me. What did Strong do to retain his position? You have to kind of go back and listen to what I said. I was just giving a hypothetical about having a contingency plan in place. I didn't say he should have. Now retaining his position, his actual position as co-DC and linebacker. Oh, he did enough to retain that as far as being a co-DC and a linebackers coach, because you can't tell me the linebackers didn't improve. They still not all that, but they did improve as individuals. So, but yeah, I was just giving an example. That's all.
The one that he had, Wesley, played lights out.
Mm-hmm. And Flag was what? Flag is 100% better than what the last time we saw.
Right. Nah, I mean, 305. You was the same one in here talking about Byron Leftwich got to prove himself, huh?
You're fire hard, boy.
305 a Trump supporter, dog. 305 might be a
Yeah.
Trump supporter,
Hell
dog.
was
Strong got I mean, Strong. What Strong got to prove?
you see, so 305, like you gotta like really. You're saying the linebacker play was piss poor at best, right? It wasn't. So everything works together. Everything works in a chain. You can't tell me that Corey Flagg didn't improve as an individual. You can't tell me that Wesley didn't improve from no snaps to the end of the season. Like you can't deny those things happen. Now the defense itself was not all together. It didn't play good. I pointed this out the other day about how many individuals played good, but as a defense as a whole just did not play well. And that's the same thing. I'm not saying that we could have won with this Corey Flagg. I was just saying that he improved tremendously because Strong initially didn't ask him to do what he couldn't do. He said, I want you going downhill. I don't want you going side to side. We know that's not your strength, brother. I want you going downhill. Now, why Steele chose to let him drop back 20 yards on 3rd and 8? I don't know. That's on Steele, not Strong. I don't know. But you can't deny these guys didn't improve.
I don't. Somebody had to get Wesley ready to play, right? Like somebody had to get him ready to play. Yeah, somebody had to get Wesley ready to play, and I heard Chase Smith was on the verge of doing this thing. I talked to Chase Smith actually this week, man. Chase Smith going to make a complete recovery because what we heard at first was pretty bad. So he doing his thing, but no, I think we got better. We got better play from the linebackers, bro. Chris Young said, "Y'all want me to show you Flagg highlights, man?" I saw a Caleb Johnson highlight a minute ago on Instagram. It was fire too.
I think he should have played more.
Yeah, we know Flagg did more. Caleb Flagg led us in tackles. I don't know, man. When it comes to Charlie Strong, like, should he have got an interview? He probably should have got an interview. Just out of respect. You know what I'm saying? He probably should have got an interview. But it looked like Miami, for the first time in these coaching searches, had their guy in mind. Like, it looked like they had him ready to go. Because I think he was headed to somewhere else, wasn't he?
I don't know. I didn't deep dive into it. But I thought he was just where he was.
Yeah, no, I think he was headed to somewhere else. 305 said when Strong was the DC head coach, his defense was nothing to brag about. He hadn't called plays in years. He was given the co-OC position to justify the pay he was given. I'm just saying, like,
we said all that though.
Florida DC, was it Strong Florida Gator DC for a long time? Was Florida Gators good when Strong was there, DC?
Yes, sir.
So 305, you said he has to redo that again? like he gotta reprove himself. Oh, that was just in the 90s, though. We talking about 23 defenses. Nah. No, bro, it's a body of work. Nah, man, I ain't buying that one 305. Man, I ain't buying that one 305.
But again, just listen to what we saying, bro. We kind of basically said like nobody was opining for him to get the DC job. We didn't say any of that. But Streeter said he should have got a courtesy interview, and I agree. He should have got just out of respect, because then you might have been able to keep him around, because he's a damn good linebackers coach. Well, that's all we're saying. Like, we're not trying to give him a job.
Yeah, 225 say he won two championships as a DC at Florida, and 305 still in here telling me he got to prove himself. That was a long time ago, though. Let's see him do it without Tom Brady. No, No, bro, listen, man. People just listen, man. Just because you got a tan don't mean you got to keep having to prove yourself, bro. No, man. Body of work is a body of work. But what we're saying is, I know it sounds confusing, you know what I'm saying? But no, I didn't think Strong was going to be the next DC. I outly said it in one of the villains talks we have on the Discord. I didn't think he was going to be the next DC, just from what I was hearing down at Green Tree. But can you erase who he is and what he's accomplished? No. Did he deserve an interview? Yeah. Did it look like Mario and already knew they were going to hire? Yeah. And it was kind of impressive because that stuff was like, hey, man, we here at Alabama got interest in steel. Then 5 minutes later, it was like, hey, Alabama just sent Steele some plane tickets. He was gone. He was out of here.
But you also, Street, you made the strongest point when you were saying it, because I was one of those persons that was like, I mean, you know, it is what it is. You lost Steele and Stride, yada, yada. But you made the strongest point. Like, Strong is an elite recruiter. Y'all keep talking about what he did after he left Florida. Like, this man stayed recruiting the state of Florida, bro. When he went to Louisville, where was he getting kids from? Here. He's here now. Think about it. Once he's gone, they have to make a phone call to Papo. Not when Steele left. When Strong left, they had to make a phone call to Papo. Like, I don't think y'all, it's everything, guys. It can't just be, oh, that was at Florida. What has he done? Like, bro, y'all gotta, coaching encompasses a lot, bro. You gotta think sometimes.
They probably had to put Malik Bryant in a straitjacket. Sitting down and have a closet somewhere, time to a chair or something. Because remember those videos we had before the game? Who did you see standing with Malik Bryant and his mama? Charlie Strong.
Charlie Strong. Yes.
Who flew to Atlanta and convinced Papo to come? Mm-hmm. That's one day Papo. When Steele left, Papo Aguirre was like, all right, you think Charlie gonna leave? I was like, oh, I don't know, dog. It ain't looking good. That's what he was concerned about. Charlie Strong leaving. In his mind, he felt Charlie Strong would develop him. I guess that's what was being sold. But you're right, dog. Charlie, to be older guy, man, hit that recruiting trail. And now he's gone. And the kids that he recruited are here. Dog, that's an issue, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That is an issue, dog. No way around it. Just
y'all man's want to keep talking. And the Street, they the man's want to keep talking about talent. Like, dude, but y'all not paying attention to the talent collectors. Every time about talent, we got to get talent, but y'all not paying attention to the talent collectors, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I know for a fact he was the one that got Papo to come. Man. And he almost got Central linebacker to come, but that just was a personal issue. You know what I'm saying? That boy, mama felt he had to get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
This man packed his locker room and left. I don't think he ain't got no other job. He just packed up and left. That's how disrespected he felt.
Mm.
They say Miami AD. They say Miami called him all night long.
Mm. I say, I ain't got to take this.
Right, dog. Y'all ain't gonna throw me the ball? I mean, keep my ball. I'm going home.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but Chris Young makes Chris Young makes a statement that I'm kind of on the opposite side of, and I know everybody has said the same thing that he said, and they're talking about kids committing to position coaches. They do switch up all the time, but to me, the most important person in my recruitment is my position coach. That's who's gonna develop me. I mean, I've always just thought that way. Like, that's who's gonna develop me. Like,
Luke talked
where's
about
my yeah. Like, I'm not going nowhere. Like, okay, go to Alabama and let's just say Bama hadn't produced a tight end in 20 years. What the hell am I going over there for? What tight end you was calling me? You know what I'm saying? Or Jeremy Shockey is working up at Purdue and he want me to come to Purdue. He don't put in the last 3 first round. You know what I'm saying? Brian Hartline goes to Cincinnati. You don't think I want to go over there where Brian Hartline is instead of Ohio State? Come on, man. It's a catchy thing.
Yeah, it is, though. That right there is. Yeah, we say that sometimes, but you right here. You just hit the nail on the head with that one. That one right there is a touchy situation because, yeah, that is why I'm going to the school, even though I know he could be gone. Just like it just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. That's a tough one. I don't know, man. So listen, man. We're gonna get up out of here, dog. Let me see. Anything else I gotta pass y'all? Miami feels really good about their DC. If you want to read a story, if you're a villain in the member section, we wrote a nice story about Lance and the new DC for Miami, or you can find it on Facebook and on the Footballville page on Facebook. We eventually put it on there, and it goes into all of it. It goes into him having a DUI, why he probably gets set back, and some other personal stuff he had that he's overcame. But KB, bro, is you said it the other day. You said it. You said, listen, man, it's a lot of good coaches out there. You gotta go find them.
Go find them. Do your job. Pay you a lot of money to do your job.
Right. You gotta go find them. There's a lot of good coaches out there. You gotta go find them. So listen, bro, let's get up out of here, man. All right.
All right, hey, just before I go, tell your boy Polway, he lucky Medi one in here. Medi probably would have cussed him out. So nice, boy.
That's what I was hoping showed up.
Medi, I was just sit back and watch.
That Polway crying on that plane. That's
all right, bro, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, yo.
Yeah.
786-405-9499. Y'all want to get down with IOD Squad. 786-405-9499. Y'all want to get down with IOD Squad. That's Investor Die where we trade. Oh man, we've been killing it with Tesla. We've been killing it with Tesla like the last month. We trade and you can watch us trade and kind of learn the trade. We're gonna get up out of here, man. It's a Friday night. Polkway came in here and kind of explained how he felt Derwin James was better than Sean Taylor. And I think the issue we came up with is that Polkway is 24 years old. Sean Taylor died in 2007. Polkway was still peeing the bed or something. I know he was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? I think we put that to bed. They said in the comment section, man, put up 20 different safeties that's better than Derwin James. I don't know if that's true. But Derwin James has a rough time staying healthy, and I just think that's a knock all in itself. But we're going to get up out of here, man. Don't put off tomorrow. Something you can do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. Layla, Sydney, Daddy loves you. I'm D. I'm out of here.